I want to talk a tiny little bit about the filing mechanic because that's the thing that happens in real life, right? Because if you want to file, you have to like go through the real filing process, and the strange thing, and I know in practice a lot of the clients actually complain about this, is that you can't do the e-filing, okay? Because specifically if you're choosing this, that's like a foreign owned. Most of the time, it's like a foreign owned U.S. Disregard entity, okay. And even though if you're talking about like foreign owned disregard entity, has normally they has no income tax filing requirements, okay. So the only thing they need to do is not the only thing, okay. I tend to I tend to oversimplify things, but most of the time, okay, they need to file just a pro forma level 20 as well as the form 5472, and yeah, and the mechanism of this is that form 5472 is attached to the form 1120, and it can't be e-filed, so it have to be filed by the old school fax, as well as by mail, not email, okay. And so if you are say you're filing from a different country, right, it's better to just have a verified mail service that can track the number and get received by IRS, because this is like the proof that you filed on time. And also, if you think that's too expensive, too cumbersome, you can use the fax service. And for the let me just show you this. So basically, you can go to the IRS official website and you can get the latest, say the form 5472. We got the the recent progress of this form and what's new. Right, you can see that what's new, future developments. You can see that there's some legislation that's related to here. Right, you got current version, something like this, current version. You can get the latest version, by the way, and then you can get related, right, about all these things. You can see the latest information. For professional, I strongly recommend that this is like your own Bible or whatever thing that you think that's so important. You know what? You need to constantly go this website. For me, I use AI as well, but that's a really restricted, like personalized AI that I use to constantly fetch information, update the personal, like knowledge base. That's I got like a local AI as well. So yeah, but yeah, basically, if you like you are the tax pro, or if you like doing tax yourself, you constantly go to this website because you want to get the latest information, right? And so you can see that the mechanic here, yeah, here. So when and where to file. So form this 5472 as attachment to reporting corporate income tax return by due dates, including extension, if you like apply for extension of that return. Especially, that's the reason why I talk about the LLC, the foreign owned U.S. disregard entity, because yeah, you need to you don't need to like have no income tax return filing requirements. Will now be required to file a pro forma 1120 U.S. corporate income tax return with the with this attached form 5472 attached by due dates of that. The only information required to be completely informed is the name and address of the foreign-owned U.S. disregard entity, and item B and E on the first page. Okay, the foreign-owned U.S. disregard entity has same tax year used by the owner of for U.S. tax filing requirements, or if not, the calendar year. Okay, and I want you to pay special attention to here, mailing address. You know, if you are using the Form 1120, you got a specific mailing address, but remember, that is the difference if you use the if you use this for the foreign owner U.S. disregard entity purpose. You got this specific address as well as a specific unit, PIN unit, that process this kind of information. So don't like mail that to different units, right? So you can either use fax, okay, and the fax need to be 300 dpi or higher. So basically the definition need to be higher so they can recognize what's written or typed on it to this number. And if you like a fax from abroad, you need to check whether that fax support the international fax service, or you can use some online fax service. You upload this requirement, right, 300 dpi or higher, you sign that, and then you fax that. You can get a successfully faxed like a thing. They can like screenshot and leave all this proof saying that you already filed text, right? And of course you can mail that. But if you're old school, or if you are say live in Canada, it's pretty close to the United States, you can mail that to this. Remember, this address is different from the Form 1120 address. So remember, you are just using the Form 1120 as a pro forma. So basically, you do not fill a lot of information just as a like a structured form that you got this Form 5472 attached to, right? So yeah, this address, okay. Special address. You got like even got like caution. Do not use the mail address provided instruction of Form 1120. Okay.